What's up? I'm here for Hamsterton. My name's James. Yeah, I don't know. This guy's kind of a horrible streamer in my opinion, but I don't know. I'm an orc from I'm an orc from I'm an orc from Minnesota, and I'm just here. Yeah, James. James is my name. It's my orc name because if I said my orc name, your minds would explode. I don't know what voice changer you're talking about. This is James. I do got a yacht, as some kids say. Yeah, let's get some tongues out let's get some ergs. Let's not get tongues out. I'm not gonna encourage minors to put their tongues out. I know a little more than better than that. James, this is the new Marvel game. It's called Marvel Rivals. This looks bad. It's gonna die into like multiverses. Multiverses was a generational talent that I wish. The fact that multiverses died is sad. But this game has Jeff in it, and I mean, Jeff knows how to party like the orcs. And don't get me started about the orcs. These damn orcs. My family left when I was 3.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
I had to live in the woods, and honestly, I became a professional Overwatch streamer. My name's James. Anyone new to the chat? My name's James. Here in the dungeon that I live in, it's kind of hard to get good internet sometimes. James, when the album? I've actually been making a album. It's called Day in the Life of an Orc. James, you live on planet Earth or Mercury? I'm not one of the space orcs. I know, boring. My parents left on a spaceship when I was 3. I've kind of told you guys about this before, but I never got to go visit the space orc colony, even though as all orcs do, they have a paid trip to the space orc colonies. Unfortunately, I never got to do that. But I live in Missouri. There's a little dungeon out there. If you look up, are there dungeons in Missouri? It may tell you no, but I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you that they do. Orcs do in fact live in Missouri, and Missouri's where hillbilly and meth addicts are. Yeah, I call those guys goblins. If a good thing about living, as a fantasy creature, or as you guys think fantasy creatures, because my orc family went to the Mercury to get the orc mines up there, and I was just a little too young to go there. And unfortunately, they got bombed on Mercury, and so I can't quite see them again. So I've kind of lived in a dungeon ever since there. Doug Harwell. Let me think of who that is. I've briefly spoken to Doug Harwell. We played a game of poker over at a hamster's house one night. He's a strange fellow, He has a lot of weird opinions about women in general. I don't know if he's been on this channel before, but he's probably not perpetuated that kind of stuff. But yeah, he said some weird stuff. Doug Harwell's cool. He drives trucks. I mean, he's a truck driver. Honestly, a skill that I could never do. I fall asleep behind the wheel too often. I've never hurt anyone, but let's just say I've totaled a couple cars. Maybe you need to cough. No, I don't. Fun fact about orcs, they don't have lungs. I mean, they do, but they don't have the cough functionality. Their lungs are so small. To the wiki, what wiki are you? Is this like internet history? I didn't think Hampshire was that famous. So my last name is Balderdash. I know. You can make fun of it all you want. My family, they were a long line of balderdashes in the late 1800s. My grandpa did some unsavory things to the town, and his last name was then changed to Balderdash, as traditional as to traditional orcs, you know. So we gotta go about 100 more years until Balderdash won't be our last name. But don't tell the CIA. I might change it next year, you know. Oh, what did he do? I don't. Let's just say, the goblin population is not very high anymore because of my grandfather. And, you know, he said some really, racist remarks towards goblins, that I will not be repeating today here on these live streams. Okay, so I just put up some sound padding. My grandpa's name. Unfortunately, my name is James for a reason, and I am James the Third, and unfortunately my grandpa's name is James the First. I do have to live with his burdens. Yeah, I'm James the Third, my grandpa's James the First, but I'm really just trying to reclaim that name and just make it instead of related to, you know, goblin racism, we get it to goblin, inclusivity, you know? Because what they've gone through is honestly just a shame. Yeah, James the Fourth depends, you know. If I find the right partner in life, we might adopt. We might, you know, just a matter of time, you know. My family, when I was about 3 years old, went to the orc colony on Mercury. Because, you know, as all orcs, they have a right to go to the orc colony. When you're at least 6 years old, you can go as a family, or like, it's all in paid for trip for orcs. But unfortunately, I was just 3 years old, and so they went to Mercury, and they got bombed. The city they were staying at got bombed from the moon elves. I was 3, didn't understand what happened, but, you know, it's a very sad, tragic day. It's like, you know, you guys had 9/11, I think it's called. It's kind of similar to like 9/11, but with orcs. You know, I hope no, the youngest, not my personal 9/11. 7,000 orcs died that day in that bombing. It was just not my family, it was a lot of people. All the brave soldiers that were there on the front lines. Those damn moon elves were just too much for the orcs. And, I mourn them every day. If only I could get ads. You know, I always loved modern advertising. Did you guys see that epic AI Coca-Cola ad? Isn't it awesome and not slop and not like the worst thing you guys have ever seen? It just warms my heart to see fake AI humans have a better Christmas than some orcs like us. It really makes all the artists and people in this world get love. And what's Orc Christmas like? Orc Christmas, I've never really experienced Orc Christmas, but I've heard that we all gather around the big bonfire with the bones of our enemies. It's similar to the Christmas trees that you guys have, you know. We've kind of adapted the human tradition because, you know, orcs don't have their own Jesus, and it'd be really cool if we had our own Jesus. Maybe I should be Orc Jesus. Maybe is that what I need? He has no family to get him presents. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a hashtag relatable moment, you know. You can't just become Orc Jesus, but I'm an orphan living on Earth. That's not how orcs work. And he can be whoever he wants. You know, honestly, that's what before my parents' unfortunate death by, does Jesus walk on water? I've not read the Bible, guys. I'm gonna be fully honest. I'm a good orc historian, but not a human historian, you know. Which is surprising because a lot of the orcs I do know are fascinated with humans. They love humans. They love their culture. They love modern medicine. You know, Adderall is a very common drug in orc communities. You know, I'm constantly on Adderall. It's just like the name brand meth, right? That's what they just be telling me. Aspirin, aspirin's pretty sick. You know, it really it helps us quite a bit in our journeys. Cause you know, if we ever get wounded, it's always good to you know, we get random crazy James lore. Let me think of some real like. If y'all won't judge, I have some pretty interesting stories about myself. Yeah, there's a big wolf in the woods, you know, because like, you know, werewolves are real. Humans know that. Werewolves are real, and I've had to fight a couple of them. So, the best fight I've ever had is I 1v3'd them. I picked a skull bone out of one of them, and like fake ate the other ones with the skull bone. It was like pretty sick, you know. Have there been any orc ditty parties? Do you mean pedophiles? Yeah, I think there has been pedophiles in a lot of places. None that I know of. I mean, personally, I've seen them in the orc news. Like, you guys have like Fox for like all the really cool and true stuff that Fox News says. We have Shark. It's kind of like the same thing, but with a bunch of orcs. Recently in the news, there's been a guy, he had like an island or something. He had a bunch of young goblins there, and it was kind of a really depressing story to hear and talk about. I don't really remember his name. It might be like Ethan, Edenstone, something similar to. It starts with an E. That's all I know. He lives semi-close to me, which is kind of spooky, honestly. But when's the Orc Mommy ASMR stream? If I still had my mother and alive and well here, I'd ask her to do one day in, day out. What I wouldn't do to spend one more day with my orc mommy, as you might call her. You know, I love playing Marvel Rivals. That's my current game of choice. You know, the Fortnite OG season came out. Honestly, it's just not the same anymore. You know. I'm stupid. Add that to the wiki. I have an IQ of 4. Do I like coffee? I partake in a little bit of coffee. I got this really fancy coffee machine. It's called boiling coffee beans and socks, and just straining them. It gives, you know, it really gives you the light it really gives you the light back in your life. You boil a cup of coffee with ground up coffee beans and socks. Get a really long sock, not worn sock. Worn sock would be gross, you know. A non-worn long sock straight from the store. Boil it in a big thing of water, and it makes some pretty dang good coffee. It makes a lot of coffee too. That's actually what I like about it. It's simple, it's easy, it gives you a lot of coffee, and with a little bit of caramel. I mean, you hate caramel, I guess. I quite enjoy caramel. I only like caramel if it's cold. Cold caramel drinks are really good. But it can't be really mixed in. If it's warm and it's mixed in, then it's bad. I will preach that. Did we feature on my new song? Possibly. Depends on what the song is about. Cause I don't take bigotry, but I mean, I do like a good diss track every once in a while. You guys know the orc government hates gnomes. There's gnomes, you know those garden gnomes. That's like the trope in movies. The garden gnomes are real, but they are real. I mean, like, you've been tricked day after day. But like, I mean, garden gnomes are real, and they are some bitchs. You know, they are some rude people. You got gnomes. They like dig. They like digging. Gnomes dig a lot. And so, you know, when fellow orcs are trying to farm, you know, surprised that, you know, like human media isn't right. Orcs aren't violent creatures. They actually are quite consistently farmers. And orcs love to dig up, and just eat all the plants that orcs, Gnomes do, not orcs. My bad. I'm a little phased. I'm a little fuzzy right now. It's a little late where I live in Missouri. Or it's just my dungeon's getting dark. I gotta go relight the fire. Yeah, gnomes are so they eat all the food we made, which means, you know, it's hard for us to sustain if all of our food are getting by gnomes, which you know, it's just kind of. But it's kind of hard because the government's put a lot of protections against gnomes, even if they hate them. You know, they do hate the gnomes. They're just so small that almost any species could absolutely destroy their species. But, you know, so we can't do much about it. They have a protection in court, they protection on the outside, but you actually you die if you hurt a gnome. Well, damn Spider-Man, you know, I kind of, you know, if Spider-Man's like a real guy, you know, like all those Marvel movies, pretty cool. They're pretty cool documentaries. And James Jonah Jameson kind of has a point sometimes. Maybe he is some menace, you know. Maybe Spider-Man is a bit of a menace. Keep a great stream, James. Love you when you start speaking, so you can turn around and sit on your big juicy orc throat. Love the content. Thank you. Orcs are quite well known for their density of the juiciness of their skin. Thank you for noticing. James might only got about 10 more minutes in him before he got to go back and into his cave and sleep for 1,000 years. God may murder my children if I lose this game. I know we got 1 second on the point, but God may murder my children if we lose this game. You know, we're gonna pull through. Don't look at my 6-11 line, but God may murder my children if this game is lost.
Well, you can't expect them all.
I was joking about that last thing. God, please don't murder my children. My dog named Steve. I'll drop some rule about Steve. Steve, my dog. I mean, he's a bit of a labradoodle. You know, nothing special about an orc dog, but he did eat buffalo meat once, and now he's never really been the same. Now I did kill that buffalo with magic. Bit of a. So that might have corrupted my dog a little bit, and but your magic. Oh yeah, I forget all mythical magical creatures have a little bit of magic in them. They got a second liver. Your liver, you know, has a little bit of magic in it, and that liver, pretty sick, honestly. You can feel it move and churn. Pretty sick work. So I can do like fire spells, which I can't really show on stream. It will explode my computer. It has happened once. It'll happen again. I had to buy 2 new computers in the last year because I accidentally used Fireball. After I got so pissed at Smash Brothers, you know, I have to use my magic sometimes to just take a breather. It's a bit of like, you know, it feels like if you take cold medicine, you know, when you use magic. It soothes your body. And so, you know, whenever I get really pissed at video games, I use a little bit of magic. But that can be a bit of a problem because my computer will explode sometimes if I use the wrong magic. We also have, he also ate Fun Dip once. Steve's a huge Fun Dip fan. And you know, those kind of things cannot be made for human consumption. So I just have to assume that they're made for dogs. I know about the Big Bang Theory a little bit. I know about Big Bang Theory, but they remade it called, I think it's called Big Bang Theory. It's like The Office, you know, we got like Orcish Office, we got the US Office. You know, personally, the Orcish Office is a little bit better than the US one, but, you know, it's all to people's liking, you know. And so, you know, when we got the Big Bang Theory, I thought it was going to be another one of those, like, you know, we just get it translated. No, we got whole series remade. They really, you know, sometimes orcs do get some pretty good novelty about them. My favorite orc music Probably Dorthak. He makes some pretty good orc Midwest emo songs. They're kind of similar. He does some good covers of like Car Seat Headrest, I think you guys are thinking about. He has some good covers of those songs. I also like Doomgus. Doomgus makes some pretty good hip hop songs. He's kind of an orc queer icon in here, and like we don't get a lot of good orc queer representation in media, so it's good to know that sometimes Dukas has our back. One of my favorite orc actors, we don't have a ton of good well names. We got what's his name? The guy who plays the Mask. He also is Eggman in that new Sonic movie. He's secretly an orc. What's his name? What is his name? Pete Davidson, that's his name. Yeah, Pete Davidson's an orc, and he's pretty, he's pretty funny on SNL. His orc form doesn't look too much different from him, He's kind of like a yellow, not a yellow tint to his skin. That's just kind of his orc's just like green. Venom's just the chopper from Beavis. Venom's just the chopper from Fight vs. Zombie Garden Warfare. The chopper is like kind of I miss those games. Maybe I'll tell Hamster to do a stream of those games. Because those games are the GOAT, and I'd honestly, I'd watch that shite. Groot is one of those fictional things that don't exist. Groot is, these are like tree elements, though, do not exist. Which I know sucks, because a lot of people love that kind of stuff. But fortunately, like elemental spirits don't really matter that much. I've never been to jail or prison once. I've talked about my numerous DUIs. But I've really only once gone to jail for it. I hit a young orc. She's fine. Orcs regenerate really good. I didn't go to, I went to jail for it, but besides that, I'm good. I went to jail a couple nights in a row. Luckily they let me keep my orc disguise. They didn't really know I had it, but so, I looked like a human. I was in jail with Robert Pattinson, though, the guy from Twilight. And he's a pretty cool guy. I think he did like tax evasion or something. I don't know. Are you? Yeah, I am. I'll take 2 more questions before I get off. Am I gay? I'm queer. I have been queer. I was not gay, but I am queer. Not streaming, I work at an orc 9 to 5, and streaming's way easier. Don't let anyone ever tell you. If the hamster comes back and he's like, well guys, streaming's just so hard that I couldn't do it. Yeah, tell him to shut up. Tell him to shut up and tell him to get a real job. Cause I don't even know, this is child games compared to what I do. I have to work. I'm a professional Overwatch player, and so I can't do much, Anyway, one more question from the audience, and then I'm out of here. I got my dog to take care of. You can hear him in the back, just barking up a storm, barking,